Sophie. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be going over exactly what I'm going to be doing for NaNoWriMo this November. First and foremost, though, what is NaNoWriMo? So, NaNoWriMo takes place in November. There's also Camp NaNoWriMo in April and July, but this is Nano. But in November, you are tasked with writing 50,000 words or finishing a first draft, hopefully, in 30 days. So from November 1st to November 30th. And for NaNoWriMo, this November one, you tend to start a whole new draft, though there are some people that maybe rewrite or revise or something. And then the Camp NaNoWriMo ones are for more lenient goals, but those have passed. So now we're in November, and it is time to get going. And last year, technically, was the first time I ever participated in NaNoWriMo, like, willingly. Like, in 7th grade, I think, my teacher had all of her students participate in NaNoWriMo, and I got about 12,000 words in a draft, and that was great. But 2019 was the first time I actually joined a NaNoWriMo outside of, like school or something. And I was rewriting at that time, or not rewriting, I was continuing a draft in that time that I have scrapped. Project Babysitter. Those videos are still up if you want to see them, but I was continuing writing that draft, and I did not hit the 50K. I set the goal for myself to be 25K, and I don't even think I hit that. I think I maybe hit 20K, but I don't know. This year, however, I will be starting a whole new draft. So, what am I even writing about? It is a end-of-the-world sort of scenario, if that's a, genre, but it is an end-of-the-world sort of thing, topically titled Project End of the World. Here's my notebook for that. I had a lot of fun just destroying this notebook. Project End of the World, in parentheses, of the world. So I kind of just call it Project End sometimes, but I put the of the world in parentheses just to make myself feel better, I guess. So it's a sort of mythological, pre-apocalyptic story thing where my two main characters are both one half of these bringers of the end of the world that I have to name, and they don't know it until, like, the catalyst, and then once they do know it, they don't want it, and, just outrunning these gods that are, like, literally created them for this, and, like, trying to, like, avoid each other, avoid the tasks that the gods that are controlling them inevitably lead them into. Just shenanigans, And I've had this idea since June-ish. I conceptualized it, and I was like, that sounds very fun. And if you recall, if you ever watch my plan or outline with me, then you would know that I wanted to write Project Glass during NaNoWriMo. And that zero draft is done. It's being revised and reworked at the moment. So I came up with this one in June after I finished the outline for Project Glass, and I was like, okay, no, I'm doing this one in NaNoWriMo. And somehow, I stuck with it. So we're here. I don't know where that was going. And I think that worked because I had so many other things going on in projects, and, I've kind of just been putting the most minimal effort into this over time. I've gotten the main characters' names, I've gotten the main story, like, idea and, like, plot points that I want, and just, like, the vibe and how I want this to happen. And actually, the two main characters' names are the same. Like, they have the same first name. So, I just had to find one name. Minimal effort. But now, it's October. It is actually October 5th when I'm filming this, and it is time for this bad boy to come to the front of my priorities so I can get all of it done and get ready for NaNoWriMo so I can just blaze through the story without needing to pause to plot a chapter, or figure out what this spirit's name is, or what this character's name is, though I probably will have to do that a lot, actually. Now, however, I'm talking a lot of talk, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this and this and this and this to get it ready for Nano. But what exactly are these this, and this is, you know? You know? It is October. It is preptober for, you know, writers. And I'm gonna hopefully try and double down on that prepping. And hopefully I will be able to get everything that I need, because, you know, inevitably I will find things that I need to add. But I'm hoping that it won't be as much as like when I'm working on Project Star. I have to like stop every scene and be like, okay, this needs to be figured out before I can write this. So hopefully that won't happen. I have 3 categories that I want to tackle this month. That is world building, plotting, and characters. In that order, actually, because each of these 3 categories will be getting their own video, and I'll be working at least a week on each of them. I think it's closer to 5 or 6 days. And you might be thinking, oh, well, there's like 4 weeks or like 5 weeks in October. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's because I'm gonna give the first 3 weeks to first world building, then plot, then characters. And then I'm going to give me the rest of the month to patch up anything like that I found during plotting or when I started fleshing out the characters that I need to add in to other parts. So technically there will be 5 videos in this series, including this one and the patching up video at the end of the month. So, very exciting. I've got my notebook ready. I've got my Google Slides for my world building ready. I've got a lot more note cards than I realized I had, because my aunt kept buying me some and I didn't realize. I have like 2 or 3 packs now, and I am ready to go. I'm so excited. And I'm saying I'm excited a lot, because I am. But, you know, with excitement comes a little bit of nerves, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of, you know, a healthy imposter syndrome when it comes to writing. And I thought I'd share those at the beginning of this, you know, journey to see after NaNoWriMo or after Preptober how those fears and excitements sort of changed over the next 2 months. So I'm going to start with my, I guess, fears or worries. First and foremost is actually being able to hit the 50K, and it's not the part like actually getting the 50K out, because I am a pretty fast writer, though it isn't the best words. So I'm not scared about getting the 50K like in practice. I'm just worried that given my underwriterness that I won't have enough story to hit the 50K, and I'll like get to like 35K and I'll be like, yeah, that's the end. That's the end of the story. Really, that's like my only fear, I guess, because I do want to try and get out as many plot points as I possibly can, because I am gonna try. I don't know yet because I'm still in the world building stage, but I'm like trying to come up with like plot and like how the gods are gonna get their final steps into bringing the end of the world, how the main characters are gonna try and, you know, get their way out of it, how the families of the 2 characters intertwine with this, how the relationship between the 2 main characters happen, and I don't know how much of a story I can make out of that, but I'm gonna try my best to make it as big as possible, because, you know, I am an underwriter. How many times can I say that? How many times can I say that? But now, what I'm excited about. Of course, I'm excited about being able to write this. It's kind of like someone telling me, like, hey, go write that story. Forget about the other ones for a little bit, and go write this one. And that's just great. That's fun. I'm just being able to write it, obviously, is big excite. And the next thing, just why I'm excited about this story, is its vibe. In a video that's going to be coming out like halfway through the month, I feel, I talk about how I come up with story ideas and the vibe and just like what I want the setting to be, I guess, really comes to me first, and I'm so excited for this one. It is a dusty old town in the middle of the desert. It's just like rundown people, just like they don't need contact with the outside world. The outside world doesn't need contact with them. They're just vibing. They're just chilling there in the sun, in the dust, in the heat. Like, think reds and oranges and yellows and like gold and bronze and stuff like that. Like metalwork, I guess. If this gives you any ideas, the story takes place in a town that I've named Honeycomb Pass. So if that gives you any ideas, it's just like a cheery old town, middle of nowhere, that, you know, is a little on its last legs, but, you know, they're making the best of it. And I live in the desert. It's hot here. And, you know, I'm right at home in this story. I'm pretty sure this one will be the easiest setting to write because, you know, I live in it. I don't have to write about the snow that I've seen like 3 times. I get to write about what I know. I am also very excited to see what kind of mythology I can come up with for this story, because it is the end of the world, and I didn't want to step on any religion's toes, I guess, because I myself am not religious, and I didn't want to dive into that, possibly getting all of it wrong. So I was like, okay, I'll just make up my own. And I am very excited to see what happens there. I have, as of this video, figured out all the names of all the spirits that, like, govern this world that they're in, and also the ones that cause the end of the world. So I've already got that going. I just need, you know, to figure everything else out. And I am kind of liking it so far. And back on the whole NaNoWriMo thing, just like being able to try and write the 50K, just getting a month-long challenge. It's just fun. It's like good stress, I guess. It's just like flying through 1,000 words and you're like, whoa, what happened there? But just being able to brag about it after, like, hey, yeah, I wrote a whole novel in a month. What about it? Which I have done before. But like, add another one to the list, right? I have talked a little bit about Project Star and how I did start that last month in September. But it's going pretty slow, obviously, because it is a sci-fi and I didn't have too much world built at the time, and it's just, I feel like this NaNoWriMo novel, this one, will be so much easier to write quickly than Project Star. Like, that one's like the Project Glass of now. It's kind of just like my backup project in case I don't know what to do and I just want a fast draft and I just want to just escape to a different world, and that one's there for me, thankfully. So October is here, and technically, I guess, Nano is here in its ominous form, so it is time to get to work. And as I said, I'm gonna have those preptober videos out, hopefully every week or so. This one, then a world building one, then a plot one, then a characters one, and then a final steps one. And I will have my NaNoWriMo vlogs, of course, in November, so make sure you sub and turn on those heckin' noties to make sure you can see every single one of them. Unless you don't want to see every single one of them. I understand, but if you do, it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Also, as I'm pretty sure you can decipher from me talking about it so much, I'm already world building for this project. Sneak peek, sneak peek, sneak peek. Here's a sneak peek. That's it. That's all you get. And that's kind of all I have. That will be coming out soon, and I hope to see you there. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm assuming you did because you made it all the way through, but I'm glad to have you here either way. Thank you for coming over. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. And I do hope to see you in the next one. Peace out. Gross.